Hello. Whoops. Sorry for the late start here. I was busy being on hold for that the refund of the game that I bought completely on accident, which I went over yesterday in great detail. Why does this mic seem slightly quieter than it was yesterday? Hello. Interesting. Hopefully it's the same audio quality. But yeah, the refund went off without a hitch. I can talk more about that in a minute. Or two, or whenever. I don't know. Who knows? I'll talk about it at some point. But that went off without a hitch. I did get the refund. For anybody who is interested in the saga, I'm sure I'll bring it up multiple times over the course of the stream when people start popping in, if they pop in, that is. Regardless, more comic today. Who'd have thought? Not me. Just kidding. That's the only thing I expect. I'm the guy who decides what I'm streaming today. And every day. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's take a look at all of my applications and my bank account and for my history, all my everything. Get out of here. Okay. There I am. There's all my stuff. Twitter is blaring my phone right now. And yes, they are lewds. No, it is not my fault. I don't even click on them anymore. It just keeps happening. Yeah, these people. These people that post these things. What am I to do? Am I supposed to... Am I gonna freaking... what's the guy? Who works for Platinum Games or whatever? Who just banned everyone or everything that he didn't want to see on Twitter, and he basically turned it into his own little personal social media platform. He turned Twitter into Facebook, where he like basically only spoke to people that he wanted to. It's very impressive. I just forget who he was exactly. There was also some weird vibes coming off of that. He started calling people like Americans or people who didn't speak Japanese like little worms beneath his feet or something like that. It was very strange. Some weird power trip stuff going on there. From what I understand, though, he was being harassed a little bit. And the worms beneath his feet for non-Japanese speakers was just a bit of retaliation that perhaps went a bit too far. Luckily, the retaliation was coming from somebody who doesn't speak English as their native language. So instead of just being like genuinely, perhaps a genuine issue that would cause him problems in his professional life, it just kind of came across more as a little bit funny. And also the fact that he was using imagery like... I don't know if the phrase worms beneath his feet is an exact thing or if I'm paraphrasing, but I do recall some sort of like, you are below me, I am above you type comment. I just can't remember what it was exactly. I am big, better video game developer man. And you are filthy gaijins. You. Gross. Something like that. So today, for the comic, to focus on what's on screen for even a minute, or even seconds, perhaps, we're gonna finish this page, if I have anything to say about it. And I don't. But if I did, that's what would happen. I would choose to finish the comic. This page, not the comic. If I could finish the comic today, snapping my fingers, do it instantly. You know how many pages that would mean? Get done instantaneously? Like a billion. This is a long-form story. Speaking of which, I'm gonna hide this window. Actually, I probably don't need to. I just gotta open up page 1 so I can get all my colors for the backgrounds. And by all of them, I mean my different shades of brown. I'm a very good artist. Lots of different hues and bounce light and what have you. Environmental lighting shifts. Ambient local hues and values. I know what all of those words mean. And I apply them very frequently and correctly. I definitely don't just use a multiply layer and sometimes a highlight layer. Sometimes multiple multiply layers. Maybe that's why they call them multiply layers. Because once you pop, you can't stop. You just keep using them. Oh, this is not the one that I want. Give me this. Give me a little bit of this. And then we'll take... oh, this isn't going to work. I need a new one. Which means I will need to obscure the face of everybody. Oh, wait, do I? Yeah, I got words on, like, all these pages. Why do I not move? Obscure your vision. For but one moment. A moment longer of your time. If you wouldn't mind. Okay, is it loading? I can't see. What? Yes, what do you want? Just open the thing. I already told you what I wanted to open. Windows, don't make a noise at me. I'll freaking kill you now. I'm feeling amped today, but I thought it would be for a bad reason. But no, I'm feeling amped in a good way. It just makes me feel violent, I guess. Because my refund got processed almost immediately. Which is very nice. Have your vision back, I guess. See if I care. Don't spend it all in one place. So these couple of panels should be pretty easy from a background sense. You could just do the old classic manga gradient or whatever. Some of the mangas don't even do this, alright? I just want to make that clear. That I am better than all of them. Everyone who's ever made a Japanese comic. Really need to diversify my music portfolio. Not my stock portfolio, that's well diversified, let me tell you. 100% Bitcoin. Not true. Even if it was true, could you blame me? Stuff's been on a tear recently. I don't even know if that's true. I barely keep track of Bitcoin. I know the past, like, few days it's been doing well. But I also don't care enough to actually make that a thing worth noting or acting on. Bitcoin's doing well? Great. I have no money with which to purchase it. Well, I have money now, but sure as hell ain't spending it on Bitcoin. I got a PC I gotta buy soon. Which is part of the reason that I'm pretty amped that the refund actually went through as quickly as it did. Because I need that money. PCs would still be expensive, especially the GPUs. And the website I keep trying to buy from keeps selling out of the ones I want, and they keep only having really cheap ones or really expensive ones. I don't need a 4090, okay? I don't even need a 4070 Ti. I was perfectly accepting of the 4070. I think that's the one I want to go with. Just your bog standard GeForce 4070. It doesn't even have to be NVIDIA's. I would take an Asus one, which is what they had before. I just didn't buy it in time, and now I'm regretting. I'm filled with regret. All the time. Nothing new, but it is something you never get used to. Alright, so what should we start with? I think we should start with the nightmare panel is definitely going last, okay? There should be no question about that at all. Nightmare panel is a nightmare for a reason. Freaking 5 discrete figures. 3 mainly. And I'm going to obscure some of them with a bed frame. Much to, I'm sure, some people's chagrin. Am I using that word right? What does that even mean? I'm going to look it up. Chagrin meaning distress or embarrassment. That's not. I used it wrong then. Much to some people's delight, I guess. Depending on who you are. You know who you are. There's another word I tried to use earlier while I was typing in the PlayStation support chat. I'm going to see if abscondingly. Did I use that correctly? Absconding. To leave hurriedly and secretly. How did I use it? You know, I used that 100% wrong. 1,000,000%. And you also... turning that into an adverb also does not work. Absconding is leaving. But abscondingly would mean... I don't even know what that would mean. It'd be like if you said jumpingly. That's nothing. That's nothing at all. Alright, I'm learning multiple things. One of the things... I'm not really learning this. I guess I'm sort of rediscovering this again. Is how bad I am at the English language. That's fine. Nothing new. Under the sky. So let's do this multiply layer. I've been having fun doing some character writing. Throwing together little bits and bobs. I already have the general scenes for a lot of the story mapped out. Not all of them, because, I don't know, I'm bad at writing. Or finding the time to write. So my first draft doesn't even extend beyond the first or second, the second chapter technically. If this is the prologue and I have the first one, then the second chapter is where my script ends. But I do have the plot outline for most of the series that I intend to do, and I'm sure that will change. Part of the reason I don't like doing first drafts, and why I've held off from doing it for as long as I have, is just I edit way too much. Maybe I edit maybe there is no like too much that you can edit. There's no like amount you can exceed, but I edit a lot. I'm always going back to dialogue and changing like even just 1 or 2 words of a sentence to make it sound more natural or interesting. I'm doing it all the time. So I feel like as a writer, my style has been... I could never do the thing where you like write a story and then hand it off to an artist. Because I would be like, wait. Instead of what you were going to do, I've changed the words. Again. Yes, I know. It's been 15 minutes since we last spoke. And this is the 8th edit that I have sent you via email. But that's how it would go. I just feel the need... it's almost compulsory at this point to just change everything. But it usually is better, in my opinion. It just takes me a while to get there. You get a new mic, Chief? I did indeed, Steak. Thank you for noticing. Do you like it? Do you like the ASMR quality? It's not ASMR quality. You think I'm buying like a $4 billion microphone? Absolutely not. But I did get a new mic. You'll be happy to know... I don't know if you'll be happy to know, but it's an interesting little factoid, I think. That this is the same microphone that Swan uses. Because I asked her, and then she said which one it was. And then I said, okay, good. And then I bought it. So it was a very easy process. I do your voice sounds sensual. ASMR me. I can give you a beard scratch. I can do that. I won't, though, except for that one. Really, which one is it? It's in my OBS, the specific. It's called the ATR 2100X. The USB microphone. It's pretty good. I listened back to it anyway, a little bit. Seems pretty good. Definitely better than the headset one I was using. And it's also part of the reason that I bought that desk mat. I was trying to reimburse Swan because she sent me the headset microphone And then I, like, very shortly after decided I wanted a dedicated one. And I was like, well, now it just feels rude that I'm still using the headphones for, like, audio, but, like, not the microphone part of it. So I bought the desk mat as a form of recompense. And she was very upset, even still. She's so nice. Yeah, she did it because I had no money. But she's a very nice lady who did not have to get me a headset mic when I could not provide one for myself, but she did. And so now that I have money, I retaliated by providing her with a similar kindness by supporting her business. And she hates it. So a win-win-lose situation, I guess. A win-win-lose. She wins and loses, and I just win. So I guess overall, that's like 2/3 of a win, baby. We take those. Proportionally, that's a victory. But yeah, now that I have money, I've been trying to get a new PC. And also, I've been nickel and diming myself out of my own money, which is not helping that situation. One of the things that happened recently, you weren't here for it, but I discussed last stream that I managed to accidentally buy a video game on my PS5 using my DualShock controller on my PC because the Bluetooth allowed me to basically control both devices at the same time, my PS5 and my PC. So while I was playing Street Fighter on my PC, in the other room, unbeknownst to me, my PlayStation was navigating over to the shop page and buying God of War Ragnarok, which I already own, by the way. So I had to get a refund for that, and luckily today it processed, and I will be getting that money back shortly. So that will help expedite my PC buying process. Yeah, you're all laughing in the chat right now. I still am very upset. How does that even happen? I don't know. The next time I went onto the PlayStation shop, it asked me if I wanted to put a passcode at checkout, and you know I said yes. After this event, this traumatic event. Never again will I let that happen. Truly bizarre. I literally went outside when that happened to tell my mom, who was doing yard work, and I was like, you'll never believe this. And she didn't care, which is fine. I should have expected that. But it was funny. Because I felt so... I had to tell somebody. I had to get it out of my system. I had to be like, you have no idea what has just occurred in my life. And how dumb I feel. You must be made aware, truly. This kind of involved her because I pay her my money for things that I should be paying for anyway. You know, like car payments. Even if the vehicle's not in my name. So me losing money frivolously, I felt like she would have wanted to hear it. Okay? That was my thought process. But yeah, the PlayStation support agent, I wrote his name down. His name was Jorge, as indicated by the chat log. And he was a bro. I know he's, like, paid to be amicable, and, like, they're all using a script, but he was working that script, dude. He was asking me how my day was going. He said he was deeply sorry to hear about my issue, which was very funny, because I don't think that's true. I don't think anybody could be deeply sorry about hearing... about somebody else wanting a refund for like $50 that they accidentally spot. Jorge, though, it was a profound sadness for him. Servicing the crap out of the customer. Jorge was going in on that bedside manner, dude. Or that chat side manner, I guess. And when he said, how are you doing today? as I'm assuming they just give you that question to buy time while they say, because he said this. He literally he was so transparent about it. He's like, while I'm waiting for the system to process your request, how are you doing? It's like such an obvious tactic to just like buy time for the customer so they don't get impatient. And I said, I'm doing great. How about you, my brother? And then I sent in a second message after that, very shortly, in Christ. And I don't know if I should have done that, but I did. So Jorge was good. I love talking to Jorge. I feel like if he wasn't a chat support guy, we would probably hang out in real life. I don't know how old he is. He could be like 48, but he seemed like a cool dude. Hello. Welcome in, Mask. I was just talking about my refund from yesterday. You were in the stream where I talked about this. So yeah, my refund went through for the God of War thing. With, you know, the game that I bought without even being near the console that I bought it from. Yeah, you know the one. The refund update has gone well. I am getting money back. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ. I'll allow it. Yeah. It's true. So yeah, that's my funny little story about Jorge and the God of War situation. It's all fixed. Unfortunately, my headphones situation, that cannot be fixed unless I go on full vigilante style mode and track down the person who stole them from me, which I will not be doing. That is too much effort. Did you find out what you were talking about? I mean, yesterday? Yeah. I was about to say that the name of my comic and some of the themes inherent within were based off of a William Blake poem that I will find the name of right now. What is it? Love and Harmony. That is the name of the poem is the inspiration for the name of my series, which is Rights of Harmony, and also part of the themes within it. Particularly the line, while thy branches mix with mine and our roots together join. It wasn't much, it was just a little factoid, which is probably why I forgot it so easily when Guinevere's theme came on and I started thinking about huge woman in Dark Souls. But yeah, I did figure it out. I do know what I was talking about. It was just a little bit of an illusion. I have a lot of illusions in my series because I think it's a fun little way to flex on people. And they're fun little Easter eggs for anyone who cares enough to actually do the legwork and like look into what your characters' names are and what they mean. Or what they could potentially mean. For example, one of the main villains of my series here is named Janua. And they have control over space, and like they can make portals between places. And the name Janua is like, I believe it's Latin or Greek, one of the ancient languages for doorway. So I think that's cute. I like doing stuff like that. I like giving names meaning, or giving characters names that have meanings like that. I think it's fun. Another one of the villains is named Kairos, which is one of the gods of time that is not Kronos. He's the other one that people don't talk about. Another one is named Athos. That's the other guy, the third villain of the big three that are going to be in there. He is a combination of the goddess Athena and the god Hypnos, because his whole thing is like tapping into people's minds and dreams. So Athena is the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy. And then you got Hypnos as the god of sleep. So I felt combining the two, battle strategy, wisdom, and infiltrating your dreams, kind of suited the whole villain of the mind type thing I was going for. I think it's pretty neat to do that. I just like giving characters names with meaning. Tons of illusions. I actually have a sheet of paper here that has a bunch more of them in there. Like a bunch of them. Sorry, I'm moving my mic around. Give me a sec. There we go. Probably should just turn it off when I'm doing that, right? Oh well. Oh yeah, I got a billion of these. Most of these are just like references to mythology, though. D&D, since they also reference mythology. And by reference, I mean sometimes D&D will just take a mythological race, and that's the name of the creature or race of people in D&D. Like the Tuathans. That's just what they're called in mythology, and then D&D was like, yeah, we'll just cop that. That's what they're called here, too, actually. It's like if D&D just had one of their deities, and they called it Jesus Christ. It's like, that's just what it's called on Earth. You can't do that. D&D, I'm pretty sure you can't do that one. But they did. They haven't, but they could. Oh yeah, Zotan, I come today with tea. Neighbor tea, to be exact. What does this mean? Neighbor tea. Expound. Explain. Ow. My finger. Let's see if I can shade this in a way that doesn't suck. Okay, so here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Give him some space. Not so long ago, a couple moved into the house next to mine. You're starting this with very horror movie vibes, and I'm into it. Couple, yeah, I got it. Continue. Freaking lasso tool. There was a class on one of those digital learning sites or digital academies that Rob uses. And they had an entire course dedicated to the lasso tool, which I thought was very funny. And normally they look pretty calm and all. They have parties, they have visits and other things. Yes, normally a well-functioning social group of people. Sounds pretty traditional. Where's the garbage bag they put into a hole in their backyard that you oversaw that you shouldn't have mask? Where's the twist coming? Whoops, that's not... I need multiply. Give me the multiply layer. Thank you. This is going to be one of those ones that looks better with multiple layers. But yesterday, the boyfriend came home late. They started to talk pretty happily about work. How close were you to them? How did you overhear this? The house next to yours, I guess they might have been outside. I don't know. I'll try not to pass judgment until the story is over. I was in the balcony, playing with a laser pointer. Fair enough. As long as you're not aiming it at any airplanes. Only a couple airplanes. You gotta look for one that says Air Force One on it. Then you can aim it at that one all you want. Am I gonna get in trouble if that happens? If somebody aims a laser pointer at Air Force One, am I incriminated by when I say that? I hope not. I just got $50 back. You know how much it would cost to get me out on bail for being held accountable for conspiracy on, getting the Air Force One plane? in a crash situation. It'd be a nightmare. I feel like I have so many dollars that I don't have. All this Zelda music. And I'm just thinking about how Zelda and Link is just not a thing that they show in the game. They should. Nintendo is afraid of people acknowledging that kissing exists. They don't. We can't handle it, everybody. It's not real. Well, then they suddenly got into an argument because the boyfriend said that he was going to do some extra hours at work. How dare he? Provide for his lady? What was wrong with him? Screw that guy. I hate him. I guess I don't know the full context, so it's fine, but that does seem like a weird thing to get angry about. When the only downside is that they will probably spend less time at home. Which is a weird thing to get angry at someone about. Because that would imply that you want them to be around more. But like you're getting mad about that. Mad at them for that. Apparently the girlfriend didn't like this. It sounds like she did not enjoy this idea. This plan of his. She started saying that he's too busy with work and doesn't have time for her. Yeah, that's about the only reason I could see someone being upset about that. But even still, it seems like a bit of a like an reason to get mad at somebody. Could be worse. Dude could say, I want to spend less hours at work. Can't even afford our mortgage now. Yeah, let's go. Broke boys. And I would relate to that guy. I'd dap him up if I ever met him. Less hours of work. Try no hours of work, am I right, brother? Hey, up top. And the argument escalated, and the boyfriend came out of the house all angry and got into his car. He stayed there for like 20 minutes, just in the car. What a weird coping mechanism for an argument. Just need time to myself in my hot rod. And then sped away after looking at something on his phone. Sped away. Probably his boss saying that he's fired or something. Wouldn't that be ironic? That's how I would write the movie. Then the man has truly lost everything. He's at his low point. It's the bottom of the second act. And then his redemption arc starts hitting. And he starts climbing back. He gets the girl. He gets a new, bigger job, his dream job that he was working towards since the beginning of the movie, the one that he was outlined at the start. You know, it's his character motivation. He wanted to be a dancer on Broadway, something like that. I don't know. I'm free. Feel free to workshop it, and that's it. Yeah. I got some notes for real life if they wanted to pan out in a way that is more narratively fulfilling. But yeah, that sounds like a whole thing. The relationship tea of your neighborhood. I don't have any neighborhood drama. I've never spoken to my neighbors, which sounds a little bit like a psychopathic thing to say, but it's true. And I don't even feel that bad about it. And the tea has dried out. I don't think you're supposed to let your tea evaporate. Every time this song comes on, I'm like, this sounds like a Hollow Knight song. And then every time that one Hollow Knight song comes on, I'm like, this sounds like a Zelda song. And I think they are just the same song. I feel like I'm being pranked by this YouTube playlist. Saw Spider-Man yesterday, freaking cool. I've heard it's very good. I do want to see it at some point. It is on my list. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm still impressed that Sony, of all companies, has decided to make good Spider-Man movies now, considering their track record with the franchise before this point. Looking at You, The Amazing Spider-Man, and the Venom movies. Kind of dookie garbage, in my opinion. Sorry to use such crass language. I want Gwen and Miles to kiss. Alright, man. We can't have everybody kissing, alright? Sometimes we just got platonic relationships between a man and a woman. Alright? But also, yeah, probably should happen. Seems like where they were going with it. Unrelated note, yeah, that's probably gonna happen, and you're probably right. Flute guy going on. I don't really ship characters. I've noticed that about me. I don't like do that. What I would do is, like, if I do ship characters, it's usually only the canonical pairings anyway. I don't even know if that's kind of, like, qualifies as shipping at that point. Because at that point, it's just how the show was written. But if the characters are shipped with each other in fiction, then I'm usually more okay with it. Or more okay with doing it myself, I should say. I'm always okay with it. I'm not like a prude. I'm not going to say, no shipping, stop it. Nope. Stop that rate. Stop having fun. Unless it's like real people. Don't ship real people. That's my one disclaimer. Also, I got spoiled on Tears of the Kingdom, and now I've said I haven't. So you better keep that in your mouth. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. As Albert Einstein once said. Did Albert Einstein even have a wife? Did that dude bone? Are there descendants of Einstein out there? That way, when they were in school and they got bullied, it was like, "Oh, nice job, Einstein." They would have been like, actually, Einstein descendants." The Einstein family. Wow. The last known surviving biological grandchild of Einstein was Bernhard Caesar Einstein. He lived until 2008, and Bernhard himself had 4 sons and a daughter. So I guess the Einstein family lives on. Maybe we'll get the Nuke 2, the sequel to Nukes. Oh, absolutely, real people are not shipping material? Yeah, absolutely not. Unless, again, they're the canonical pairing. And the canonical pairing in real life, I guess, just means they're already in a relationship. Then you can ship them. If they're already in the relationship. But that's the only circumstance I can think of. Everything else is like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't. If you're thinking about it, don't. But what if don't? Are we clear now? Okay. Nope. And then maybe I should I do an ambient occlusion layer for this one? I think I should. Let's do an ambient occlusion. Like if their partner's drawing a little fan art, I think is okay. Yeah, like that's fine. Nothing too like graphic. That seems like invasive, but you seem to know exactly what my wavelength is on this particular situation, so I don't think I need to over-explain it. This song always reminds me of that Hunter x Hunter song. Chimera Ant Arc 1. Which is a great song, and I'm not going to apologize for playing it on stream every now and then. People are like, oh, my emotions, and I'm like, shut up. Some more ambient. Oh yeah, get the shadows on those eyes. Get them on there. Just really. Oh wait, I probably should have like thought about this with my brain before I was just going ham. There, thought about it, fixed it. Everything's good in the world. And then I guess we'll do some lighting here. Nah, not over here. Get rid of that. Yeah, right here is fine. This is a good level. And we'll add the highlights later, I think. We'll just do the multiply pass for now. Okay, so... Wait, hold on. How does the pinky work again? On the elbow? Longer toward the pinky side. Okay, that should be fine. I realized my questioning phrasing was very vague, so nobody knew what I was talking about. Now which panel should we do? Should we do another armor panel or another lady and armor panel? Let's just go least complicated to most complicated. So we're going to do this guy, then the 2 figures, then the 4 figures, and then the freaking 18 figures that I, for some reason, felt compelled to draw on this one page. Thereby ensuring that this comic never comes out. Ever. It's not my fault. Sue me. I have artistic integrity. And too much, well, I was going to say too much free time, but that is like the exact opposite of what I have right now. I got no free time. And no maidens. So even if I did, you know, if I did have a maiden, she would be like the one that Mask's talking about. Always on me about spending too much time at work. Actually, if I had a maiden, which I realize is becoming an increasingly cringe way to say a significant other or a partner, she would probably just complain that I sleep too much. Not even like sleep around with other people, which would be valid, but just that I am asleep too much. It would be like the biggest issue, non-issue of all time. You never spent time with me. You're always unconscious. And that would be probably the biggest hurdle if I had a relationship at this very moment. Is that I need to sleep, man. I have graveyard hours. What do you want from me? Leave me alone. I just want to go to work at 11 p.m. and then come back at like 7:30 in the morning, eat some toast, and then go to sleep until I decide to stream, or I don't wake up and I don't stream that day. It's that simple. And it has happened many times. I'm trying to get better at streaming more consistently. I was going good for a while, but then these past couple of weeks, the Mondays and the Fridays just wipe me out, and I'm just asleep all the time. The Mondays and the Fridays is my favorite Mamas and Papas spin-off band. Parody band? I don't even know. What's even the name of that band? Am I even California dreaming? The Mamas and the Papas. I did it right. I said it right. I got a reference correct on the first try, everyone. That never happens. Oh, feels good for once. I am half tempted to play Guinevere's theme again, just to see if it is like a Pavlovian thing, like if I truly can just mind wipe myself at any time just by playing that song, and then the image of a giant, well-endowed woman will appear in my brain and just take up any other thoughts. It could be a useful, like, some people need alcohol to forget stuff that efficiently. I just need 13 seconds, and not even, like, 3 seconds of a theme song from a video game about a large-chested woman who was, like, 10, 15 feet tall, and I could just instantly, all of my problems go away, because I can't remember anything as soon as that theme kicks on, apparently. Neuron activation meme. It's like neuron deactivation, though. Like, my brain just shuts off when that theme kicks in. Brain actively functions worse while that theme is playing. So I have played about like 20, 25 hours, pardon me, of Street Fighter 6 by now, and the majority of it, some people might be surprised to hear, has been, that playtime rather, has been uh, the World Tour mode. That's right, the single player mode, which I didn't even expect myself to be fully interested in, but it is the thing I have spent the most time on so far, and after I end stream, I'm probably just going to go play Street Fighter World Tour mode because I'm almost done with it. Turns out, the only thing that fighting games needed to do to have an interesting single-player campaign was just copy the Yakuza format. Just have a funny little open world where you can beat people up with your cool combat system. There's some wacky little side quests in there. You got a couple hub overworld cities, and then it works. It's crazy. I had a blast getting as far as I have. And the master, I think it's a genius that they didn't try to make this big bombastic narrative in the style of like a Tekken or your NetherRealm games, because Street Fighter tried that and it sucked ass. It was very dookie garbage and no one liked it. Street Fighter V's story is insane. It feels like it was made by a robot. You can barely understand what's happening, and when characters talk to each other, it feels like they're talking next to each other and not even to each other. It feels like the whole story for Street Fighter V feels like a table reading for a different game. Actually, it feels like a table reading where each character is in a different game. That's more accurate. Like, a character will enter the room, everyone will act surprised and be like, huh? And then one character will say, who are you? And then the other character will just ignore that character even said anything and go off with their own exposition. And it's so bad. Street Fighter VI does not have that issue. It's not trying to do a big bombastic narrative. It's very simple, very one-track oriented. And I appreciate it a lot for what it does. I think not focusing on the characters themselves outside of arcade mode was a smart decision to instead focus the story on like this avatar character that you make. I think it's interesting, but it's also weird that it works weirdly enough, in my opinion, because it allows them to keeping these characters on the back burner, at least outside of their arcade mode appearances. It felt so much more organic than just forcing them all into like a single story where they all have to do this big world-saving adventure. It's like, no, they're just around the world as they would normally be, doing whatever, you know? They're all doing different stuff. E Honda's got like a restaurant. Chun-Li's training people. Ryu's being a master doing Zen meditation somewhere in Japan, because of course he is. Blanca's doing like a tour guide industry thing. It felt like natural, as opposed to M. Bison is about to kill Lego City and you must, you know, all that. I don't know. I think it just works so much better than anything else they've tried in recent years. And then, of course, you know, Jury is out there being the foot woman. They've made her even more foot womany than ever, dude. I'm almost, if I was like a puritanical religious fanatic, I would be offended that Jury even exists in modern gaming. It's almost excessive. A lesser man would have said sexcessive, because that is funnier. But it's a low-hanging fruit. It is pretty funny, though. I saw a Reddit post that was like, Jury really is the best teacher in the campaign. And it was a line of dialogue from the single player that she has, where she says, do the things that your opponent hates, and just keep doing it all the time. That's how you win. And then it showed a secondary screenshot of the guy in an online lobby with his avatar character, and somebody is getting really angry at him in the chat, and he says, dude, you didn't even do anything other than spam the same 2 moves over and over again. You didn't win, you know, you have no skill, and all of that. It's like, I get, it really works. The advice just works. Just do what your opponent hates over and over. If they hate it, they must not be, you know, make them adapt. If they can't adapt, they lose. Basically, Jury is a combat genius. To the point where the game is teaching you how to mind game your opponent. Is crazy. Street Fighter 6 is next level. Then let's do one more layer for the shadows anyway. Spite is the strongest weapon. Apparently, it's just, you know. Wait, why isn't this word? Oh, I'm using blur. It's just just spamming. You know, spamming was always the answer. And I've known this. I've played Smash Bros. Spamming is the answer. 100%. Never do anything differently if it's working. You think I won't go for another down B in this situation? Of course I will. Who do you think I am? Will you kiss your mother with that mouth? That phrase doesn't even work here, but it felt appropriate to say. Let's go. Yeah, let's do another one here. I just gotta do a little more touch up on this one. Gosh, I said simplest to most complicated, and this is how long I'm spending on this one. How dare I? I hate having standards. Very annoying. It's hot in this room. I gotta turn on my ceiling fan. Must be those danged wildfires elevating the temperature. It definitely did get smokier outside when that was happening earlier today. Still smells a bit like a barbecue when you step outside, but it did look like one in the morning. When I got out of work and I was like, oh boy, it must not be going well up there. I'm in New York too, so they're basically blowing that stuff right into my window. It's like, get it out of here. I don't freaking want. Get that shit out of here. I got air to breathe, dude. I don't want particulates in it. You keep that to yourself with your parts per million and your lung damage. I don't need it. It's like when Japan, that nuclear reactor fricked up, and everyone was like, oh, great, now it's all in the freaking ocean, dude. It's gonna get over here in America. I don't want none of that. I didn't want none of it either. Getting your nuclear waste everywhere. God, that must have happened forever ago, too. I don't even remember. I must have been a young lad when that. I barely remember the Japanese nuclear reactor meltdown. Nuclear disaster. When did that happen? 2011. I was, in fact, a little boy. 11 years old. Crazy. I'm not yawning. You're yawning. It's like blinking at the same time. If you do it, then, nobody even notices. I was also a little boy, but smaller. I am. You are what? Therefore you think? I'm fighting sleep. Yeah, no worries. Me too. Isn't that nuts? I can't fall asleep, though, because I'm live streaming, and I'm not in the proper category. You used to not be able to sleep on stream at all. Now I'm just worried that I'm not in the right channel for it. What should I shade for the skin? I'm gonna shade her skin. Give me your teeth. Oh, my tolerance is probably way too high, said every hardcore conservative. Is that too political of a joke? I don't know. I think it's funny. Listen, man, all I'm saying is I don't play sides here. If you call yourself a member of the left or the right for that matter, then you're doing it all wrong. It's not about sides, it's about the issues inherent within. George Washington was right. He was wrong about the isolationism thing, but that, we couldn't really control that one. But the political party thing, I think he had a point. It's just used as a method of division by powers greater than our own. As the people, and it's very effective, unfortunately. People are still fighting each other. Just based on the freaking animal that their party is based on. Oh, you're one of them donkey dudes? Well, you're one of those elephant guys. Oh, don't you even get me started with my elephant, mister. Don't even look at him. Talk to me or my elephant ever again. And it's like it's that you're not even talking about issues anymore. You're just talking about which team you're playing for. Without even perhaps understanding the full, scope and spectrum of the issues inherent within politics. And it happens all the time. Same thing with religion. Can be a powerful tool, spirituality and all that. Could be a powerful unifying factor for a lot of people. Has been. Probably will be. But it's also so easy to sow division using it. They're doing it constantly. Who's they? I don't know. Big Pharma. Probably them. Am I talking out of my depth a little bit? Yeah. I don't really follow politics, but I think the philosophy behind it has become very distorted in recent years. How much time we got? Hour and a half? I could probably get done with this page, he said, growing increasingly less confident as the phrase exited his mouth. I don't know. I might be able to do all the values today, but I don't know if I can finish the background today. It is a perspective shot of a room with multiple props in frames, so we'll see what freaking happens, I suppose. look fat in this? You can answer honestly. But I would prefer if you didn't. The heck is that noise going on outside? Sounds like someone's piloting a trash can. I'm not even quite sure what I mean by that, but that's what it sounds like down there. No comment. Thank you for your... I'm not entirely sure what to call it. It's not honesty, but your restraint. That's what I'll call it. Now we're shading here. I don't even know what I'm trying to remove here, as indicated by this giant T-Rex mouth I've drawn. We'll do the shading below the speed first. Sorry if you're still fighting sleep mask, because this music is definitely making that a losing battle, I would assume. I'm not playing Guilty Gear right now, which would probably be the ideal if you're fighting it all. And then she has these things, which I have never seen, so I'm not entirely sure are real, but I see artists draw them on women all the time, so maybe they gotta be based in some level of reality. And these things supposedly have volume and form just like the rest of the body. This whole thing. And then we can just take this, make a new multiplication layer. Yeah, the more I'm looking at this, the more I don't think we will finish this page today. But we should be able to get pretty darn close. I think. That's the wrong layer, you daft punk. Me. That should be good for that. Well, not when you put it on that layer. needs to just calm down. People are burning down Canada. People are piloting trash cans. 'Cause that's the only way I can describe the sound that I'm hearing right now. Everyone needs to just relax. Does anyone know the causes of these Canadian wildfires? I hope it wasn't a freaking gender reveal party again, like in California. Causes is because of lightning, usually. Yeah, but what about this one? What about the new ones? Everyone's just talking about the unhealthy smoke and the air quality, and it's like, yeah, I know, I live in New York. It was already bad. Nobody's saying what caused them. I'm guessing it was probably just a random weather event then. Anyway, back to my thing. Gotta make this comic before the lung disease sets in. I get the old tar lung, you know. That's what's gonna happen now. I secondhand smoke from the freaking earth, dude. Really? That's what we're doing now. Thanks God, or whoever did that wildfire thing. Sounds more like a Satan type deal now that I'm thinking about it. That's more his style, his venture, his persuasion. He's all about fire and brimstone and all that. It's the best theme for the worst side character. Let's go. Five for his sucks, dude. horse posture there. Probably way too long. I got a craving for a bowl of beans. You're a bowl of beans. Sorry, you didn't deserve that. I'm not particularly fond of beans. I don't hate them, but I wouldn't choose them. Just on any, for like just a given thing to eat. If somebody offered me a bowl of beans, it would be a little strange to me. But I wouldn't deny it outright, but it wouldn't be my first choice. What is this whimsical ice-themed song? At least it sounds that way. Could be wrong. That's from the Lost Woods. It's a remix. Interesting. I didn't realize there were remixes on this playlist. Now I know. God, now it's cold in this room. Everything sucks. My ceiling fan is too good at cooling the room down, but if I turn it off, it's going to be too hot. Just got to do that thing where it's like you got the air conditioning on, but you have a blanket on, so you feel like a real asshole for global warming and climate change. What are you doing to save the planet? Wait, what is this? Oh, that's the bell loop. I'm actually contributing to climate change by utilizing every sort of heating and cooling device in my home at the same time. Just to find, the perfect equilibrium. Like when you got one leg in the covers of the sheets, the sheets of your bed or the covers of your bed, and then one leg out. You gotta find equilibrium, inner peace. Inner peace via outer equilibrium. This is such a weird song to remix, in my opinion. I don't know why, it just doesn't seem particularly benefiting of a remix. Unless you're doing like a hardcore trap remix, like this is still relatively the same energy as the original. Which I guess is why I'm slightly confused as to why do it in the first. If you're like gonna do a remix, I imagine it's gotta be like, in my opinion, the more transformative it is, the better. Just making a remix and then keeping the same vibe with some minor instrumental changes is like, why even do it? Hardcore trap remix of the Lost Woods. I'm sure it exists. Kinda want to hear it. I'm looking at it. This is what this stream is for procrastinating my duties. Lost Woods Trap remix. Let's go. Official trap remix. I don't think you can call your Zelda trap remix official in any capacity. I think Nintendo might have some words for you. Trap music now, posted on December 19th, 2016. I mean, I'm gonna listen to it, but maybe want to change the title. Let's freaking go, dude. Why am I shooting arrows in the club right now? Probably shouldn't be doing it. It's very dangerous. I'm gonna put these away now, actually. This is so dumb. I don't hate trap music. I just hate this specifically. Whoa! So dumb. This voice sampling in the background. Huh. Was that the Naruto? Huh? Did they get the same one? This is bad. I agree, and yet it has 10 million views. This is it's pretty rough. Imagine if this was part of an actual Nintendo soundtrack. No, thank you. I don't want to imagine that. That's a world I choose not to believe in. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to other Zelda music. Thank you. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the more transformative it is, the worse it is. Go back to the other one. The other vibe was fine. The original, keep it as much of the original spirit. Basically, don't even change the song at all. Is my new perspective. I have sometimes it's just a learning experience. And I've learned something today. About myself and about trap remixes. Trap remixes being that they suck, and myself being that I don't like trap remixes. At least not that one. Perhaps there are other songs that are more befitting of a trap remix than that one. I Need to Go by Chicken E. Have a good one, Mass. Thanks for stopping in. I'll be here for a bit. Not too much longer, though. So if I don't see you, I'll catch you next time. Whenever that may be. Go buy chicken to eat. Why did he add to eat though? What did he think I would think he was going to do with the chicken, if not eat it? Am I overanalyzing this? Yes, but it's funny to think about. What did he mean by this? What do you mean chicken to eat, Mask? Is what I would ask him if he were still here. Okay, I'm back to playing canceled. Okay, well good, because I was asking a question about... What were you talking about? What do you mean to eat? What else could you possibly have been using the chicken for? I wouldn't be asking if you hadn't specified, but what other purposes does chicken have? My dad left for chicken without me, Sag. Or Pog, I don't know, depending on your thoughts about the whole situation. Basically, congrats or I'm sorry that happened, depending on whatever you wanted to feel about it. For to eat lunch. Sag, okay. Sorry that happened then. Dude just leaves for chicken without you? That's rough, dude. I'd have some talking words, some speaking words, not fighting words, because that is your dad, but at least some stern words for someone who leaves to eat chicken without me. I enjoy chicken, so if you're gonna deprive me of that and eat not only that, but eat it yourself when I'm not present, that's just rude. How do I see the funny Pepe Frog? I think you need an extension. I don't know which one it's called. You could look up "How do I see Sag" in a Twitch chat, and I'm sure you'll get the some people who have who know what they're talking about. Some memesters out there. But it is one of those extensions you need. I just don't recall which one specifically. I don't use them. I should, because I do like I know what most of them are without having actually ever downloaded one of those extensions, which probably says more about how terminally online I am. I'm always here looking at Twitch chats and memes and stuff. What do I want to focus? Value stuff is taking a bit longer than I anticipated. Very soothing. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Sorry if I happen to. Wait, what? Excuse me. Noticing something. Where did my line art go for this? This right here. Where did it go? What? Why are you gone? Interesting. Okay, I will just simply redraw that, I suppose. I don't know where it went or why. alternate between states of just absolute silence and then manic explanations of why God of War has been purchased a second time on my bank account, in my bank account, and I need to refund it. Talking about Jorge, we all know Jorge. He's my bro. We go way back to like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Basically, my homie for life, my ride or die companion. I would die for him, I think, if given the chance. After what he's done, all that he's done for me, how could I say no? Jorge L. was his full legal name, his full government name that they gave me. I don't know why they gave me his last initial, but they decided to do that in PlayStation support. So now I know a little bit more about that man than I even will than I will even know what to do with him. Wait, who we dying for? Yeah, the customer service rep. My brother. In Jesus. I have drawn fan art of you. Well, I would love to see it. Sounds like a real good bloke. He was a swell chap, that one. A good egg, and other such phrases. And how to catch all of them in Fantastic Beasts and whatever. You know. Do we have the official first Zotan fan art? I know I did the official first fan art of someone who stops by the streams pretty regularly yesterday. So to have the turnaround be so quick, be surprising. I gotta do the torso on this lad, this absolute unit. Well, a drawing. Yeah. I'm not expecting the Mona Lisa, since you said you just did this or what. I don't expect you to have spent a billion hours on this, since I'm hearing about it just now. And then I click on this, I open it, it's on the freaking wall of the Louvre. Let's check it out. How dare you? You've drawn me with my ball and chain. I can't believe this. But also, I do appreciate that freaking ball and chain. Mine is much bigger and swings much heavier. My ball and chain is bigger than all of yours combined. And I feel comfortable saying that. You all got ball and chain envy. That's what you have. I'm gonna add it to whenever I do have a Discord server. I'll make it the banner image. It's the first fan art. I gotta do it. At least for a minute. At least for 20 seconds, I'm gonna do it. I actually do have a Discord server, but it's not for anyone else but me. It's the one where I store all of my art references that I find on the internet. And occasionally the spicy Twitter suggestion that I keep around. Again, purely for anatomical research, okay? It's true. You don't have to believe me, but it's true. Some people, when they draw the naked people, they draw them with muscles, and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool, actually. I'm going to look at the shapes that they use to define that particular muscle. I'm going to copy that for later. And I sound like a real nerd while I'm saying all this out loud in my house. No, I don't do that, but I could. I like the fan art. Captures Zotan's mischievousness. I'm looking at it again. I can't believe this. The restraint. It's like being in jail is my sole personality trait to you people. It's almost like that's the only lore bit that I have. I try to add the head shine, my grease, my oils, my naturally disgusting skin. Yeah, I also have a Discord full of feet pics. Totally just I didn't say feet, but you have the feet pic one. I said art references. Don't even give me you freaking this dude mains jury for sure. 1,000,000,000%. Don't even let him convince you otherwise. He's a juryman. He's playing Street Fighter 6 right now, and he's just in the training mode, doing Jury's taunt, where she like beckons you, come hither, with her foot. She does it with her foot. She like turns around and she's like, come over here. She does it with her foot. It was implied. I know what you have in there. I don't have feet. Absolutely. Well, I like the honesty. I main Ken, and the character popularity list came out for the first 5 days of the game's release, and Ken is the most popular character by far. So I am basically a normie little bitch. I'm just playing the most popular character. I'm not interesting or cool. I'm just playing Ken, okay? Even Jury had less players than Ken, which is like surprising to me considering all of the freaking buzzwords that have been going around talking about her recently. I would play Cammy. She looks fun. She was pretty high on the popularity list as well. If you could even imagine that. I know, it might sound crazy. I think she was like around... She might have actually been around like number 4 or 3 or something. Top 3 maybe? I don't know. I'd have to look again. I like characters that throw kicks and are fast. Yeah, that sounds like... I like the characters that have a lot of high-low mix-ups, but Street Fighter doesn't really have a lot of that. Ken apparently has some good weight. He has like some overheads he could throw in every now and then, but I'm not really good at using them yet, so I'll have to figure it out. SF6 character popularity. Let's see if I can find the Reddit post. Shouldn't be too hard to find. I think it was in one of the hot posts. So it shouldn't be too hard. Also, all the concept outfits that people have been shown. Like, I'm gonna bring this on screen because they're freaking so sick. Like, look at this. How do I make this bigger? Yeah, there we go. Get a load of these. These are the rejected designs for the game. I think I'd also play DJ. He seems pretty alright. He's definitely a lot more interesting than he was in the past. But yeah, take a look at this. These are the designs they decided were not good enough. I look at all of these and I'm like, yo, every single one of these could be an alt in the game, and I would pay money for it. Especially far left. The big one? That looks so sick. Why does Chun-Li look so cool here? She looks like an anime villain, but in like the best way possible. And then like top left, small. That one's pretty good. I actually like all of the top row. They're just all dope. Bottom left, pretty cool. The bodysuit is an interesting take. Then they got her like police uniform take. Love it. Bottom middle, pretty good. I think the leotard is like kind of, it's not really her thing. She has one, but it's like more of like a cami thing these days. Then you got second from the right on the bottom. That's probably the weakest one in my opinion. And then far right, she looks like a Tekken character, and it looks dope. Love it. It looks like a less lewd version of her fancy outfit from Street Fighter V. Or her, like, whatever you want to call that. I do like second from the right top. That one looks really cool. With, like, the knee pads, I don't know why, but I think I like tactical Chun-Li here. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's not the post I was looking for. I just wanted to show it off. Here's the popularity list right here. So we got 45,000 Ken players on the ranked from Capcom ID. 37,000 Ryu players. Yeah, and then Cammy was top 3. She has 34,000 players. DJ is 60. He's not the weakest by far. Dalzim, nobody plays that guy. Nobody's playing Blanca either, which is very funny. Dalzim and Blanca, freaking nobody. Get them out. Get them out of here. Also, all 12,913 of these Lily players can go eat a big bag of hammers or bricks or whatever. Just eat anything that is not suitable for human consumption. I hate all of you. Lily players can eat garbage for all I care. Dalzim seems so slow. He really does. In this game, all about drive rush and impacting and zooming across the screen, he does seem like a slow lad. Jury's pretty up there, but not as high as Marissa, which surprised me. Or Manon. I guess they're the two newcomers, so it makes a little bit of sense. People want to try them out. But JP's a newcomer, but he's also a zoner, so that makes sense why he has 16,000 people. Kimberly is a nightmare. All of these people can go eat garbage too. I haven't seen a single Jamie or Guile yet. So that's interesting that they're here. I've seen a Chun-Li. But yeah, I played Ken, literally the most popular character. I guess I'm just a basic loser. Muscle mommy, indeed. Yeah, I know exactly why she's in like top 4 material. 100%. Anyway, what was I doing? Artwork? I do that sometimes, I think. Yo, we talking muscle mommy? Absolutely. Have you seen Marissa from Street Fighter 6? I feel like she'd be right up your alley. But she only has eyes for Zangief, because he's a muscled father. So you gotta, if you want Marissa, if you want to be her lover, you gotta get some gains. Also, she hits freaking hard. Also, she's plus on block with that lariat dive move she has. Freaking nightmare. Characters being plus on block after doing a big stupid move is one of my least favorite things about Street Fighter 6. Lily is just never negative. Never minus, I should say. She can just choose to be safe whenever. Even when approaching. Makes me so angry. Oh, she's a bit much for me. You know what? I thought that too at first, but then I kind of warmed up to the idea. I was like, this is even like beyond the usual female bodybuilder exaggerations. But then I was like, you know what? Who am I to be so picky in my times of need? I didn't lower my standards. I evolved them to gain a greater affinity. How do y'all learn all that stuff about frames plus and negative? You just get inundated with it for years since you're like in your mid-teens. It's like how people got good at Call of Duty. You know, they just played it in middle school all the time, and now they're just good at it. I didn't play first-person shooters in middle school, and I suck at them now. And all my friends did, and they're way better at them than me. And it definitely shows. Basically just time. Yeah, I'll take that criticism. She seems intense. But yeah, basically you just gotta freaking do the thing for a while. Plus side, they're better than me at first-person shooters. I can smoke all of them in fighting games. So, pros and cons. I'm more of an FPS person. I could never get super into fighters. That's where you, and I differ. I can beat them up so bad. And what's funny is sometimes I actually get them to play fighting games. I don't know how I convinced them. I got one of my friends to buy Skullgirls, and he never plays fighting games. I don't know why he bought Skullgirl. I didn't even try that hard. I was like, yo, boot up Skullgirls right now as a joke. And now he owns it. He just owns the game. I don't know why he did it, but it's funny. If he just did it for the bit, mad respect. But then, you know, if we ever, like, 1v1'd in Counter-Strike or Valorant, he would freaking eat me alive. He would go up to me and knife me every time, just because he knows I wouldn't be able to fight back even with a gun. Got him. Destroyed. Yo, is this freaking Wind Waker song? Is this motherfucking Wind Waker? Are you ready to wake the wind? I don't really have any muscle mommies in my comic. The closest thing I have is the Protag. She's pretty muscular here, at least in the quad region. I gave her some real kicking sticks over there. And then this character probably is more muscular underneath the outfits here. I believe I drew her pretty muscular. Pretty toned, anyway. That's the closest I got to muscular mothers. Ah, don't look at that. Don't look at my words and my deeds. Those are spoiler words. You can't read them. You're not allowed. Not yet, anyway. I will have to go back and do the highlight layers for this dang old thing at some point. I don't know when I'm going to do it, though. Maybe next stream. I said I was going to finish this page today. I vastly overestimated myself, as per usual. It has been known to happen, and it will happen again. I make no promises about that not happening. That would be foolish, insubordinate, and churlish of me. Are we almost done with this panel? I can't tell how much more I want to do with it. I think I want more ambient occlusion in this general vicinity. I'm going to keep throwing around that word because it makes it sound like, or those two words, I should say, because it makes it sound like I know what I'm talking about. I know what those mean. Oops. Just need a little more depth around the waist. And then maybe adjust the form of this shoulder, maybe? This is kind of a spooky song. What is this one? Link's Awakening, Ballad of the Windfish by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. What? When did they do that? That's nuts. I had no idea that they were doing Zelda tunes. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like Zelda is where Nintendo usually goes all out with their music, their compositions. Although Mario has had some pretty banger compositions in recent games. You know, remember Mario Galaxy? All the orchestrated music in that, pretty great. Xenoblade games, they got great orchestration all the time. Monolith Soft and Ace Plus, I believe, is the music group they use. Killing it all the time. Never a bad moment. Well, except for that one time when they remade the soundtrack for the definitive edition, and it was all worse than the original somehow. I don't know how they did it. Luckily, you can choose which version of the soundtrack you listen to in the Xenoblade Definitive Edition, which is something I think all remakes should do, personally. If you're going to change the soundtrack, for the love of God, just let people keep the original one, just in case you butcher it, which usually happens. Just a completely different tone and vibe than the original intended one that was in the scene or part of the game that the song was for. Happens so many times. Here. Do I need a little bit more, perhaps? Yeah, I think I do. At least over here. Let's put this here. And then erase it. Just a little bit more shadows, then I'll move on to the next panel. And then we'll add the big multiply layer that I used to vignette everything. It's another little art secret, little trick to make people think you're good at what you do. It's all in the execution of the final steps, you know? It's all the smoke and the mirrors that's the important part. That should be good for this panel for now, until I inevitably come back and change something about it. We could change this to 43 instead. See how that looks. I don't know, I kind of like the contrast here, but not like up here, so let's try and soften that. I don't know what my issue is with that in particular. I guess for now we can move on. Thank you, Windows, for telling me about the NASDAQ. I don't even have stocks. I do not care. Why would you invest in stocks anyway? Doesn't everybody already don't the companies just own each other and the politicians? What's the point in owning stocks if everyone plays the game by their own rules? They make the rules now. I don't get it. Surely you should just look what politicians are buying for stocks, because they get tips from all those people, all those campaign donations, and I'm sure they get advice, insider trading all the time. They've been found for that stuff. Happens all the time. Basically, just find your favorite politician or the richest one in your area, and then just copy what they're doing. You'll probably make like a 200% return annually, because they're probably not even sneaky about it, if I were to guess. Would you be? I don't think anyone would care. You're a politician, doing whatever you want. Getting paid by hedge fund bros? Why is this not working? Explain to me why you are not functioning. I have the multiply layer. I have my pen tool here. It's set to the blue color. It is clipped to the layer below. Oh, it's because I did this. Okay. I had to go through all the steps, and I figured it out. I might just have to call it after I finish shading this lady. And I'll just have to resign myself to actually finishing this page as a whole. Next stream for sure, he says. I'm not even going to promise to do it off stream, because when I go off stream, I'm either going to be sleeping or playing Street Fighter or both, and I hope it's not both, because I'm going to wake up and find my rank had dropped 15 billion points, if that were to be the case. God, I really made her a short queen, didn't I? I know I made her shorter than the guys here, but I didn't know I made her this short. Might be some continuity errors there. One more multiplier for old time's sake here. For this lady. And I think I'll have to call it here for today. I didn't quite make as much progress as I'd hoped, but I did make progress, and that's all that matters. So, save that real quick. And then without further ado, thank you all for stopping by, those of you who did. I will hopefully be able to do the same time tomorrow. Same thing, same time, you know the deal. But, yeah. Catch y'all later. And, bye-bye.